Hello everybody, welcome to my latest video. We're looking at Cournot competition when the firms have different cost functions. I had some people who were confused about this, wanted just to show what's going to happen in our market. So let's see, let's imagine a market with two firms where price is equal to 100 minus Q, nice simple demand function. Q is equal to Q1 plus Q2. So price is equal to 100 minus Q1 minus Q2. And we're going to assume that the firms have different constant marginal costs. That marginal cost 1 is 5, and marginal cost for firm 2 is 15. Okie dokie, let's do this. If I want to solve firm 1's problem, I need to set marginal revenue for firm 1 equal to marginal cost for firm 1. And that's how I'll get their best response function. So let's see, the marginal revenue curve, I'm going to double the slope of that inverse demand curve for firm 1. So marginal revenue curve for firm 1 is 100 minus 2Q1 minus Q2. Notice Q2's slope does not get doubled. Firm 1 doesn't choose Q2. The only one they're choosing is Q1, so that's where it happens. If we did more calculus, this would be more obvious, but this is for my class without it. So you just got to take my word for it and hope I'm not trying to deceive you and ruin your life with false notions of Cournot theory, because that's totally what I want to do with my life. Anyway, I shouldn't have gone on the tangent. Let's get going. Let's set that thing equal to marginal cost. 100 minus 2Q1 minus Q2 is 5. So 95 minus Q2 is 2Q1. 95 over 2 minus a half of Q2 is Q1. And this is what we call the best response function for firm 1. It gives the best level of Q that firm 1 can choose for anything that firm 2 chooses. Now we're going to step aside and do the same thing for firm 2, where marginal revenue for firm 2 is equal to marginal cost for firm 2. Let's see, same idea. Marginal revenue for firm 2 is 100 minus Q1 minus 2Q2. Set that equal to marginal cost. 100 minus Q1 minus 2Q2 is equal to 15. So 85 minus Q1 equals 2Q2. 85 over 2 minus 1/2 Q1 is Q2. And that's firm 2's best response function. Okay, in Cournot, as you have learned hopefully by now, we need to look for the point where best response function 1 intersects with best response function 2. That is the only way that we will get a stable equilibrium in which neither firm has any incentive to change its behavior. They will both be doing what's best for them given what the other one is doing. So let's do that, mathy-wise. 95 over 2 minus 1/2 Q2, which is 85 over 2 minus 1/2 Q1, equals Q1. Let's see, that's 190 over 4 minus 85 over 4 plus 1 over 4 Q1 equals Q1. 105 over 4 equals 3/4 Q1, and that comes out to be Q1 equals 35. Boom, got it. Same idea for firm 2. 85 over 2 minus 1/2 times Q1 which is 95 over half over 2 minus 1/2 Q2 equals Q2. Let's see, that's 170 over 4 minus 95 over 4 plus 1 over 4 Q2 equals Q2. That's 75 over 4 plus 1. Oops. Equals 3/4 Q2, which means Q2 is 25. We've got both their quantities. Notice the lower cost firm can make more units of the good in this market. And that's going to really matter in a sec when we do profit. But first we need price. Price is 100 minus Q. Well, that's 100 minus Q1 plus Q2. Is 100 minus 60. Price is 40. So profit for firm 1 is Q1 times P minus ATC1. Now don't forget, we have a constant marginal cost, and I didn't give you any fixed costs. So conveniently, the marginal cost is the average total cost. So profit for firm 1 is 35 times 40 minus 5 is 1225. Profit for firm 2 is equal to 25 times 40 minus their average total cost, 15, and that's going to come out to be 625. So the lower cost firm takes more of the market and sells each unit at a higher profit, gets a lot more. Industry profits are just, whoops, 1225 plus 625 equals 1850. And maybe just for fun, we'll do consumer surplus. See, the choke price is 100 and the quantity is 60. So let's do quantity first. Half times base of a triangle times height. 100 minus 40 is 1800. So there you got it. For Cournot with different costs, you're just going to do the same thing we already did, except each marginal revenue curve gets set equal to a different marginal cost function. And then it'll all be exactly the same as what we've already done. So I hope this was useful to you. Whether or not it was, it's all you're going to get. Thanks for watching.